You can bet Judicial Watch is going to stand on the side of the Constitution, stand on the side of the rule of law, and stand on the side of a Republican form of government that the left these days seemingly wants to overturn. I highlighted this special master last week. He's a senior judge, which means he's not working full time. He works part time for the federal courts as he kind of goes into retirement. But it looks like he's been going a little too far or beyond what the Judge Cannon had authorized in setting up the special master process. He was speeding things up. He was also requiring President Trump to affirm certain information, potentially under oath, that the special master appointment order didn't really contemplate. And so the judge clipped his wings. Judge Cannon came in and said, no, A, they can get more time, and B, the president doesn't need to come in and go under oath about what the nature of these records are. That's just a step too far. This is a document dispute issue. But the judge evidently wanted to conduct some type of discovery or something of that nature, or put people under oath on the record. And it seemed to be a little bit aggressive in the sense that it wasn't required for him to do his job. And on top of that, it turns out, and this is the other news this week, is that the government kind of admitted to the Trump team, after being dishonest and withholding this information seemingly from the court, even though they likely knew better, that they didn't take, quote, 11,000 documents from the president's home, but it was actually 200,000 pages. So, when you're in a fight with the government, sometimes they argue with you about, well, this is a record, is this a document, how many pages are in the document? So depending on what definition you're using, you could have one record that has 10 pages or one document that has 10 pages. And so when people are saying there were 11,000 records or documents taken, unless someone says something otherwise, you're just assuming typically that it's pages. Turns out there were 200,000 pages. So which shows you just how broad and expansive and abusive the raid on Trump's home was. So you've got this still percolating along, and of course you've got the president being abused out of the New York Attorney General's office in New York with another civil lawsuit designed to destroy his company. You have another local left-wing attorney, the district attorney in this case, in Fulton County, Georgia, trying to target and jail folks who were concerned about the elections in Georgia and who were exercising their First Amendment rights. You have the continued abuse of the January 6th Rump Committee, run by the Pelosi gang. And of course you have the Justice Department, which is still harassing American citizens who had the temerity to dispute Biden's election by exercising their rights under the First Amendment and other amendments of the Constitution and federal and state law to raise questions about the election. So you've got this major suppressive effort by the Justice Department, by Congress, by state officials targeting Trump. And the icing on the cake, or maybe the worst aspect of this, is their raid on his home. And so the media probably wants to move on from this, but Judicial Watch isn't going to move on. We're going to try to figure out what went on with this wildly abusive raid on his home. And we're going to stand for the truth, and we're going to stand for the rule of law, because as Trump has always, as observed many times before, they want to get to you through him. And so the abuses you're seeing of President Trump are abuses, frankly, that others have already been targeted with in these January 6 out-of-control investigations. So this is serious. This is not about Trump. It's about whether the civil rights of all Americans are going to be protected from politicized law enforcement entities at the federal, state, and local level. So this is a dramatic time for the American experiment. And you can bet Judicial Watch is going to stand on the side of the Constitution, stand on the side of the rule of law, and stand on the side of a Republican form of government that the left these days seemingly wants to overturn. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.